Welcome to Week 6, Lesson 2 of Bootcamp. In this lesson, we will go over the add it rule. In this word sum matrix, use the base word distinguish and add your ending or suffixes. Don't forget to watch the joins. Please pause the video right now and work on this word sum matrix. Now that we're back, let's go over the answers. Distinguishes, distinguishing, distinguished. Now with this one, okay, is distinguished an independent word, or is it independent? Independent or dependent? That tells us whether or not we're going to use ABLE or IBLE. In this case, distinguish is an independent word. It can stand alone. That way we know that it gets distinguishable, ABLE, and distinguishably. Just as a rule of thumb, AB is not a suffix that lives on its own. I only need it to make this an adverb, distinguishably. AB cannot live on its own. Next, let's work on our word web with our base word distinguish. We have 3 types of words. We have action verbs, we have adjectives, and adverbs. Please pause the video right now and fill in your word web with the words from the left in the appropriate type of word they are. Great, now that we're back, let's go ahead and revisit those words. Distinguishes, distinguishing, distinguished. Our adjective, our adverb, distinguishable, and our adjective, distinguishable. Our adverb was distinguishably. Now we're going to go over some rules. Please pause the video right now, write down these 4 questions and your potential answers. So number 1, what is the change that sometimes happens when adding S? List the suffixes that cause no change, or that cause the change. List the suffixes that cause no change. And then how are the suffixes different from each other? What is the rule? Please pause the video right now and answer those questions. Okay, now that we're back, number 1, what is the change that sometimes happens when adding S? Sometimes we need to add ES instead of just S, like in the word distinguishes. List the suffixes that cause the change. Okay, S. What about those suffixes that cause no change in that word? ING, ED, ER, and ABLE. How are these suffixes different from each other, and what is the rule? The rule is use ES instead of S when the base word ends with a hissing sound, like sh. Okay? Like in distinguishable or distinguishes. Okay, it has that hissing sound. Let's go over the rule a little bit more in depth on the next slide. We had ES instead of just S to any word that has a hissing sound. So let's look at the first sentence. The infant drools. I don't hear a hissing sound at the end of drools. I hear ol sound, so I just use S. The poodle fetches. Fetches. I hear a hissing sound at the end. Okay, one of those hissing sounds is CH. I need to add ES instead of S. The thief confesses. Again, S at the end of that has that hissing sound. An angler fishes. SH we know from our base word distinguishes, has that hissing sound. The soda fizzes. This one might be the easiest of them all. We think of a hissing sound with zzz, and that has that in this word fizzes. Okay. The mechanic fixes. The x sound at the end of fix also has the hissing sound, so X also indicates using ES instead of just S. The diver plunges. Okay. The J sound has the hissing sound and will always end in ES. So if we look back at our word sum matrix and our word web, we'll notice that the goose card, okay, is very important. As we look into that card on the next page, we'll figure out what that card has to do with anything. That goose card, okay, helps us determine that since GE, GI, and GY say J, we separate the G and the I, E, and Y with a U to keep the G sound. So, in the word guitar, GI actually falls in there, but we need to put a U in between G and I, so it says guitar, not jatar. In the word guess, we need to add U in between G and E, so it says guess and not Jess. And in the word guy, G-Y, we need to add a U in between, so the word says guy and not jai. Common exceptions, as with many rules in the English language, we have some exceptions. The exceptions for this one are get, giggle, gill, girl, and give. And again, this just comes from lots of reading and understanding and what makes sense. If you say the word, okay, and it doesn't make sense, then it's probably not a word. This concludes Week 6, Lesson 2, Boot Camp.